Welcome to 5 Minutes of Momentum. These episodes are a short 5-minute burst of inspiration, motivation, and massive action. If you need that little kick up the butt to get things moving and to inspire you to take massive action, then every single Thursday I'll be sending you through a 5-minute episode to download, digest, and implement to finish your week off strong. Are you ready to get started? Let's go. Hey, welcome back to the podcast. I want to talk to you about delegating and how to make it easier for yourself so you can actually gain more time back. One of the questions that came up in one of my masterminds recently was around delegation and outsourcing, and we determined what she needed to outsource and where she was losing a lot of time within her business. And so we created a list, and she recognized that she had some team members that she was able to offload some of this stuff to. And then she came back to me with the next challenge. So she said to me, "This is taking longer than I expected. I thought I would just get it off my plate and then it'd be gone. I'd have all this free time, but it's not necessarily the case." And I said to her, it's going to take a bit of time, a bit of training, and a bit of support for your team member to fully take it on board in order for you to free up your time. And so I'm going to share with you some of the advice that I gave her, because she was like, "I just feel like this is so overwhelming. I don't know what to do next. And I also really want to make sure that I'm maximizing my time." And so I said to her that it feels like it's causing more time for you to do this now. But the last thing that you want to do is take it back off their plate. This is usually what happens with people when we start to delegate, is that the person we've delegated it to asks for feedback or sends it back through to us and it's not at the standard that we really wanted it to be. And a lot of the time what often happens is that we go, okay, well, it's easier if I just do it myself. So they take it back off their plate, put it back on your own, and then before you know it, you recognize that you haven't really delegated much and it hasn't given you back much time at all. And so what I shared with her is that in that moment, there is your opportunity to choose to whether you take it back and cause yourself to hold on to that and never get back your time, or you choose to use it as a training opportunity to ensure that at some point in the future, you are going to gain that full time back. So you need to invest a little bit of time now in order to get that time back later. So I said to her, you need to look at every opportunity as a training opportunity, so the person that you're delegating to can learn from you and think like you. If you take it back and you're not giving constructive feedback, and you're not teaching her how you want it to be done, she cannot learn. That person cannot learn from you. They can't think like you. They don't have your brain. They're not in your business the way that you are. So you need to be conscious of the way that you're sharing the information. And this is honestly sometimes the first time you do this, the first couple of times you do this, it's actually you learning the skill of communication. You learning to communicate more effectively so that person can learn from you. And then there's different learning styles as well. Some people are kinesthetic learners, which means they need to do it in order to learn it. Other people are visual learners, they need to see it. Other people are auditory learners, they need to hear it. So depending on the person that you're working with, uncovering what their learning style is also really helpful. So then when you're communicating the information, you're communicating it in a style that they're able to receive. So one of the biggest things you want to be conscious of is not taking it back. So rather than, I know it's going to get frustrating. I know it's going to be like, but it's going to be quicker, it's going to be easier. Yes, for you now, but what about down the track? You're never going to have more time to work on your business if you're always taking stuff back off their plate. And they're also not going to get any better at it if you don't teach them. So take every opportunity for it to be a learning opportunity. And if you're in the process of doing that, you may as well create an SOP at the same time. SOP stands for Standard Operating Procedure. So you want to build out your SOPs so that way when you bring on any new team members, you're spending less time training because you've created a video or you've created some type of system that teaches them how to do that task. So the reason why a lot of the time it's very hard to delegate is because you haven't built out these systems in order to support you being able to delegate. And the first part of it is literally you trying to get it out of your own head, right? And trying to teach this person how to think like you. So everything is an opportunity to train them. Take every opportunity to train them and they're more likely to be able to take it off your plate for good. The next part is really starting to consider who you are delegating to and whether that is their skill set. So sometimes I've handed off a whole bunch of stuff and not actually considering whether that person's skill set can handle that task. So sometimes you need to actually hire based on the skill set that you need. And that sometimes is more of a specialization. So I know I've done that in the past where I'm like, I've delegated some graphic design work to someone who doesn't have graphic design skills and then get annoyed or frustrated when they turn back in the work and it's average. well, actually, I should have paid a graphic designer, right? And so now I have one that I'm able to then reach out to and be like, hey, I have a new project. Can you do this graphic design work? And so the same thing. So when I'm hiring now, I'm literally looking for the skill set and I'm onboarding with my values. So then they know what's expected of them. But everything is an opportunity to teach them. You cannot expect them to be able to do it so well, so right straight away unless you've taught them how to think like you and taught them exactly what you want. So take the time to train them, and that's when they will take all the stuff off your plate and make your life so much easier so you can focus on what's much more important within your business. I hope this helps.